A proud product of Fayetteville State University, a strong advocate of the national HBCU community, and one of our great entrepreneurs. We are privileged again to be joined by my dear brother, one of my favorite of 5Qs nationwide, brother Nicholas Perkins, the founder and CEO of Perkins Management Services Company Incorporated, with a major announcement. Brother, one, it is always an honor to have you on. Two, I got to share this story before you get into it. You told me when we met about a decade ago that your dream was to be the first billion-dollar black-owned, 100% black-owned food service company. Yes. And today you are taking a major step towards that goal. Tell us all about it, brother.
So I've been very fortunate in having had the opportunity to enter into a asset purchase agreement with Luby's Incorporated to acquire the Fuddruckers hamburger chain. As you know, about 2 months ago, we became the largest franchisee of Fuddruckers, purchasing 13, soon to be 14 locations from them. And now we have a very unique opportunity to become the franchisor. And this is a monumental occasion that has never been done before, where you have a hamburger chain that's a gourmet hamburger chain, international brand owned by an African American. So I feel very honored and privileged to have the opportunity to acquire this brand and to reestablish it, to grow it, and to sustain it long term. So I'm very delighted to be in the situation that I'm in now, and very grateful to the Luby's team and the board over at Luby's. We worked very diligently over the past 2 years and working to arrive at the point that we are now. So the asset purchase agreement was executed and announced and made public on yesterday, and we are looking to close in the next 90 days or so.
I mean, and just to be clear, particularly for young people who will hear this and need to understand the gravity of the situation, you're going to be the first owner of a major national burger franchise, a brand that we're all familiar with. We've all seen, driven past, lived near Fuddruckers.
Sure.
And that's going to be you, bro. Like, I can't really get over it, because it's like, to know somebody that's doing something that major. This is like Reginald Lewis kind of major, right? Like, so what is the feeling around that? What is the feeling around that, to know that you're in that kind of stratosphere at this point, so early, relatively early into your career? We're 40 years old, bro.
Sure.
Like what does that feel like?
Well, I feel very blessed. I have, as you know, competed in contract food services sector now for 16 years. And, you know, I have constantly tried to find ways to grow the company and diversify the company and strengthen it overall. And this was a very unique opportunity for me to be able to add a different revenue stream for Perkins globally as an organization. And you know, I'm just excited about, you know, our enterprises, family of companies now, you know, to welcome Perkins cafeterias, which will also be opening this fall, a cafeteria style restaurant that we've developed, you know, now with acquiring the Fuddruckers restaurants that we operate as an operator, and now the actual franchise, becoming the franchisor. The entire system now also welcomes a family of franchisees into our company. And for us to be able to be in a situation like this, I can't tell you, it's just been a tremendous blessing. And as you say, very relatively early in my career, you know, but at the same time, you know, it's been rewarding. It's been a very tough road in terms of the amount of diligence that it's taken to get to this point. You know, a lot of bumps in the road along the way, but you know, I've stayed the course, and we've been fortunate enough to be able to arrive at where we are right now. And so I feel very blessed and very fortunate to be here.
Do you think now this is a deal that's probably going to close in form this fall, probably around September, October? That's correct?
Yeah, or sooner.
Or sooner, okay.
Yeah. 90 days is what we consider to be a very liberal estimate. I believe that we will close much sooner than that. But when you're dealing with, a publicly traded company, as Luby's is, there are a number of boxes that you have to check, along the way. So we feel like a 90-day a window of time will be sufficient, but there is a possibility that we could close sooner than that.
You look at what you're doing with this chain. You look at things that like Byron Allen is doing with acquiring stations. Is there a strategy behind amassing certain brands? And then I imagine in looking towards the future to reinvent them. If you're comfortable sharing, is there a vision that you have for this franchise that you will say, here's a tweak that I can do to it, or here's some things that we can do differently that really takes it over the top?
Fuddruckers has had some challenges in this recent past, and it is somewhat of a turnaround at this point. At the point when I would be acquiring the company, so the initial stage of the turnaround process will be undergoing what I have developed as a 3-phase strategic plan to stabilize the company and ready the company for long-term growth. But growth, however, is not the initial step. So we got several things that will need to be done before we start growing as a franchise. And so the ultimate goal is to introduce to the world the world's greatest hamburger, right? I don't advocate for or sell anything that I don't believe in. And so I fully intend to take this brand and put this brand on offense and grow it. And so Perkins as a family of brands, when I think about the company globally, I have determined that retail, restaurants complement contract food services well. Our strategy long-term will be to grow our franchise operations individually, to bring also in new franchisees, both internationally and domestically, as well as look to find strategic marketing partnership opportunities to be able to grow and sustain the brand long term, and ultimately build toward that $1 billion goal I set out to accomplish very early on. So this is a step in that direction. There are a tremendous amount of very talented, a very dedicated, loyal, and committed franchisee base in Fuddruckers right now. And we are going to give them some TLC along with an infrastructure that's going to be able to help them grow and be able to sustain and maintain a return on investment that they made in the brand even prior to my ownership.
You have always, in the times that we've talked in the past, publicly and privately, you've always credited your grandmother, for your background, for your spirit, your love of cooking. You cited folks like A.G. Gaston as role models for entrepreneurship and business.
Sure.
Who else is part of your universe? The students, the interns that you brought along the way.
Sure.
Who else do you credit in your universe for getting to a moment like this?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be here had it not been for the sacrifices of people who died and didn't know my name. I say often that the civil rights movement and that period of history is my single most favorite period of history to study as a student. You know, I'm always a student first, but I have conscientiously always felt indebted to all of the people that participated in the movement to get me to a point to where I am today, to be able to live out my dreams. And then, you know, I in turn have to turn around and help other people be able to accomplish and achieve theirs. And that's the beauty of being a franchisor. It empowers you to be able to help people create businesses within your business for their families long term. And so, you know, this kind of fit with my philosophy.
And then the final question, bro, like you're
Okay.
sitting in a restaurant right now. you're very hands-on with your
Sure.
people, with your company. You're active. I've been places where you've been, you're cooking, you cutting vegetables and fruit. Like I've seen you in action, brother. Like, is this something that you see will continue with working with your current franchisees, developing relationships with new ones? Is that something where you see like this can have the Perkins touch to it, so to speak?
Absolutely, it has to. You know, anything that I'm involved in and anything that I'm involved with has to have my spirit in it. And, you know, I fully intend to establish this brand as a leader in the gourmet hamburger sector. And by empowering franchisees to be able to you know, leverage their talents, skills, and abilities, and maximize their return on investment in our brand in order to be able to help it grow. I'm not going to lead this franchise system as a dictatorship. It will be led as more from a stance of shared governance and encouraging and enlightening entrepreneurship. Because when people make an investment in a business, they expect a return and they expect for that business to work. And it has to work for them, because they could have chosen any franchise to invest in. And I think what's important is that we have a system that works for franchisees, that is efficient, and a system that if followed will yield a significant return on investment. And that's my goal, you know, and it's the same approach that I take in my company. And you know, and I've always been the first to say, you know, in the hospitality business, you know, you're only as good as your next meal, right? And you know, nobody remembers yesterday, right? And if you don't get it right today, you know, there could potentially be no tomorrow. And so, you know, when I think about what that means for my organization and the type of franchise system that I want to lead, we want to be a customer-focused and customer-centric organization that meets customers where they are, and a brand that constantly stays on offense. I mean, and you can do that with a product that Fuddruckers has. You know, is second to none.
So, just to round out, can we start saying Fuddruckers is the official hamburger of HBCUs, or do you want me to wait, brother? Because
well, we certainly are getting there, and I'm glad that you mentioned that because I've just recently executed a franchise agreement with Luby's prior to our signing of the asset purchase agreement to bring the first Fuddruckers to an HBCU this summer that will open in August at Benedict College. So we're going to be opening our first Fuddruckers at an HBCU this summer, which I hope will also be a catalyst to all the other historically Black colleges and universities that will also want the brand on their campus in the future as well. So, you know, we not only looking to be the official hamburger of HBCUs, but the official hamburger of the NFL, the NBA, the MLS, the MLB, as well as we go forward. So, you know, we are a community-based organization, you know, just as Perkins has been, to get involved in the local community is something that I fully intend to integrate into the philosophy here at Fuddruckers going forward. So we will base the headquarters in Houston, Texas, build the infrastructure here, and you know, look to empower franchisees all over our nation, and all over the world.